Welcome back to Kevin Toll Reads. I hope you're doing well. It is time for my weekly wrap up from this past week. What a week it's been. It's been very, very busy. And so let's dive right in and talk about some of the things that happened over the course of this week. Books last week, I read Lethal Prey by John Sanford, book number 35 in the Lucas Davenport series. If you haven't seen my review, you may or may not want to check it out. Wasn't overly enamored by this book. Gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Not my favorite in the Sanford book. It just seemed I just wasn't a fan. But I did read and finish The Concrete Blonde, book number 3 in the Harry Bosch series. Really enjoyed this. Gave it a 4.8. Conley has delivered so far on every single Bosch book. They've been just excellent, really fun reads. I also made some headway in The Count of Monte Cristo. I am on, I believe, 490 some, page 490, so I'm about 500 pages in, so I have about 700 pages to go, which hopefully I'll knock out another couple hundred pages, if not more, this week, I'm hoping, and I can roll into May a little bit beyond halfway. That would be great. If I could finish the book, mid-May, that would be fantastic, but I'm really enjoying it. It's really, really good, really, really good, and it's a lot of fun reading it. Definitely, there's a lot of setup and build around some of the things, and yeah, I don't even want to get into it because I'm going to have my own review about it. But I also read, for Saturday Shorts, I read 3 short stories this week. I read The Man with the Twisted Lip, which was a Sherlock Holmes tale. I gave it a 4.2 out of 5. Enjoyed it. It was nice getting back to some Sherlock Holmes. I read The Steal by Jeffrey Archer out of his short story collection. Gave it a 3.9, pretty cozy, pretty solid story, not great, but good. And then I read Popsy from Stephen King out of Nightmares and Dreamscapes. Really enjoyed it. Gave it a 4.6. Really, really good short story. So another solid week of short stories. I did get, a comment from, I believe it was Dawn, just Dawn. He was like, hey, I'm really looking forward to some more stories from Night Shift by Stephen King, and it got me thinking, like, hey, maybe I ought to do a couple Saturdays where I do just one author and do like 4 or 5 different short stories from them and give you a review, and so I might be doing that. So be on the lookout for that. In terms of rating overall, it's a 4.2. It was a really good week in terms of reading. And so let's talk about videos last week. I did 6 videos. I did 2 book tags, my weekly wrap up. I did the book review of Galloway, and then Tessa did her book review. I did my Why You Should Read. I got back to doing those this month and did a Why You Should Read on Jeffrey Deaver. If you haven't checked that out, definitely worth it. I did the book review of Lethal Prey, even though it was kind of a meh book. I did the review on it. And then obviously Saturday Shorts. I hit my 600th video on YouTube this week, which is pretty mind-blowing. Even though, I knew I was doing a lot of videos and I've stepped back from doing so many. But yeah, 6 videos, not bad. I will say video count will slow down even more of probably the next several weeks. There's some big life events coming, so it's going to get a little chaotic. So just you're forewarned. I do have some videos already scheduled for next week. Next week will probably be another busy week, but we'll get into that soon. But yeah, just forewarning you. So let's talk BookTube Community. The following people made comments. I have, some pretty regular people now, and so it's really great to see all of you making comments, giving me grief and whatnot. Joe's Books and Movie Corner, Jack Yo, Stephen Everett 7, Being Lamb, Book Chat with Pat, Read and Reread, Hassan Creative, Mystery and Mayhem, Secret Fire Books, Twice Born by Grace, Corey Rader, Books with Blake, Nicole's Bookish Nook, Brian M.R. Pronic 1, Amy Harperton Pages, Dr. Cranky Pants Reads, Little Big Library, Long Island Reader, Free Indeed, Albert the Conjugator, Lynn's 12, Ted, Sean Constant, Nicole A Cottage Witch, Nicole Rosito, Book Zealots, Books with Blake, A Genteel Black Hole, Sean Constant, Faceless, Some Other Character, CG Rated Books, Vin's Corner, Jenny Jables, Molly, Luigi, Cliff's Dark Gems, James Biddle 469, Tim Reads, Odd Audio Line, Melissa Says Hi, Novel Insights, Professor X, Just Dawn, Steve Donahue, Stephanie Page 4334, and Stuart Griffin all had comments this week on various videos. It was really good hearing from you all, getting some suggestions as well. So it was really, really good. And so that rolls right in nicely into comment of the week. We'll have a couple here to kind of showcase. Obviously the first and foremost comment comes from Faceless, my nemesis. He's always got to find a way. He's kind of taken a hiatus from BookTube recently, but now he's kind of slowly getting back. I think I've drawn him back into the fray, but he can't help but insert himself in here. And he had a really funny one about spitting his coffee out when I talked about how trying to aim for polished videos, and that was a good one. And then Scott and Brian got on the bandwagon when they were trying to convince me, when I was talking about The Count of Monte Cristo, that there was a book called The Count of Monte Cristo. And yeah, Scott, being his humorous self, was trying to get me to believe that hype. And then Brian has to weigh in and comment about Scott's comment, calling Scott's, a fiction tale of Crisco a budding idea. Yeah, that was really interesting. And so, moving along, we're going to talk about the BookTuber Spotlight. I have one returning channel I wanted to spotlight because I just think what he did was really interesting. Nick at Dr. Cranky Pants Reads. If you haven't checked out Nick's channel, one, he's really close to 500 subscribers if he's not already there. But he is very creative, high-quality videos, and he recently did a video because he couldn't attend the roast I had, and he kind of gave me his own little video roast, and it was very, very well done. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, I did post it in my community tab. You definitely want to check that out. Nick does a great job. His videos are high quality. He has a very witty sense of humor. He's very well spoken. He does a Spines and Sparks series, which is great, and it's funny and informative. You definitely should check out Nick at Dr. Cranky Pants Reads. And then the other channel I want to mention is a channel kind of similar to mine. It's Gavin at Genre Books. Similar size. He reads a lot of similar books, does tags. I really enjoy, the books he reads because he reads sci-fi, sword and sorcery, fantasy, a lot of, pulp and westerns. And so right kind of in my wheelhouse. He recently hit 1,000 subscribers like myself, and you can tell he's very active on BookTube, does tags. I really like the one thing he does an author birthdays, and I think that's really interesting because you just never know whose birthday it is, from famous authors, and I thought that was really cool. So you definitely should check out Gavin's channel, and if you haven't, check out Nick as well. Both really good booktubers. Definitely worth your while as a viewer. And so let's talk about what is upcoming in terms of reading and videos. Obviously, I'm going to continue to pound through The Count of Monte Cristo, really enjoying it. Hopefully, like I said, I want to get 200 or 300 pages done this week, so I can get in a really good position rolling into May. And then I have Hyperion. I'm going to start reading Hyperion this week, and I'll talk about why here in a second. But I'm really looking forward to this. I've always had this kind of on my radar, so it has a lot of hype to it, but we'll see. And then I am going to be reading from Thomas McNulty Book Corral. Thomas McNulty. I'm going to read The Trail of the Burned Man by Thomas McNulty. I'm really looking forward to this. After getting this book, it's been sitting here kind of eyeballing me, and I'm really excited to get to it. So that's the plans for reading this week. In terms of videos this week, there's going to be 6-ish videos. I'm going to have a reshuffle TBR. I think I'm going to have 2 BookTube videos, one video having 2 tagged videos, but one of the videos has 2 tags in it, so 3 book tags this week. I'm going to have my book review of Demolition Angel and Concrete Blonde. That's going to be kind of one video, double book review. That's coming, and we're going to do another Saturday Shorts. It's going to be a busy week, and it's going to be good. So, and then what's in the works? So, obviously, the library video is still in the works. I've been working on it off and on. I haven't got a lot done this week because I've been busy with other things, but I plan to crack down a lot this week and try to finalize it and then start editing everything. I'm still kind of outlining it. You can call myself Jeffrey Deaver, I guess, but I've changed it multiple times. And so I think I'm comfortable with what I got. And so I'm going to start editing different content and doing some voiceover type things. I'm trying some new things. It might be a complete flop and I might just scratch it, but yeah, I'm working on it, trying to come to terms with it. I'm still playing catch up on tags. I got a lot of tags I still need to play catch up on. I recorded a couple this morning to get out there, so be on the lookout for that in the coming weeks. And then, most notably, is there's myself and a couple other gentlemen created our own little book club, and we finally decided on a name. It is Books, Bros, and Banter. And here are the suspects that you definitely want to, just for a kind of teaser of who the suspects of this book club are. But this is why I'm reading Hyperion. We are going to be talking about Hyperion in the coming weeks on a live stream. And so more information will be forthcoming about our little book club, society, secret handshake kind of thing. So more to come, but our names are Books, Bros, and Banter. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. It's always a good time to read books with buddies and talk about them. So that is it for my weekly wrap up. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend and a great week ahead. And I will talk to you all in the next one. Thanks.